Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another Spiritualistic Pick a Card reading. Today we are looking at how you can accelerate your spiritual practice. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, creating a clear and open channel. As you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. If you'd like to meditate with me, that will be the first link in the description box. If you'd like a personal with me, that will be in the center. You can find those on my spiritual store on Etsy: candles, crystals, meditation cushions, journals, prompted and unprompted for meditations, for self-exploration, all of that good stuff. You can also find my tarot and oracle decks and my books that I've published. The timestamps to your readings are the very last thing in the description box here, and we have group number 1 on the left with Living in Truth, group number 2 in the center with Calling in Manifestations, and group number 3 on the right with Stand in Your Power. I love you and I'm grateful for you. Don't forget to check out my members only channel here, my Patreon. You can like, comment, and subscribe here. It's a wonderful way to show me your support and help me keep doing what I love. And you can also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram if you're not already. So with that being said, I love you and I'm grateful for you, and I'll see you over at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group 1. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking at how you can accelerate your spiritual practice. And you selected the first group with the Living in Truth card. Group number 1. You are being encouraged to pick one path and or one spirit guide and focus on that for a while. It will accelerate your spiritual path. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that all of the time, but to accelerate your spiritual practice and growth, some of you do not work with spirit guides or deities or energies like this. Maybe it's foreign to you. You're being encouraged to pick one and kind of let them be your little buddy for a while. Some of you work with many, and that's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing to have a beautiful, expansive spirit team. With that being said, to accelerate your spiritual practice, you're being encouraged to pick one and hang out with them for a while. Don't just allow them to walk with you through 1 week or through one lesson or through one season. Kind of see how far you can take the guidance. Pick someone that resonates with you. Maybe it's someone like Archangel Michael. Maybe it's someone like Ganesha. Maybe it's someone like Lilith. Whatever resonates with you. Maybe it's someone like Krishna. Whatever resonates with you, group number 1, pick one and stick with it. That will be the way that you find your acceleration and success in your spiritual practice. Group number 1, another thing that I'm getting for you is that you might also be a learner of many things. You might like 5,000 flavors of spirituality. You might love to study different theologies, different kinds of practices, and that's wonderful. It's great to have information, and with that comes wisdom. With that comes more things to move forward. However, while you're not being encouraged to put all things down, I'm hearing that a jack of all trades is better at all of the things, and the master of one is good at just one of them. I'm paraphrasing that, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not telling you to put that down. But what I am saying is to accelerate your spiritual practice specifically. Pick one and take it further and really fine-tune that instrument. Not because you don't have the spherical access that will help you have different perspectives. Rather, because say that you're interested in Western medicine and Eastern medicine. Say that you are interested in learning more about Chinese medicine and Ayurveda and also herbalism and also homeopathy, like Western homeopathy. All of these things are great and they can certainly go hand in hand. But to accelerate your spiritual practice, you're being encouraged to pick one, say pick Ayurveda, and allow that to guide your path over the foreseeable future. It might not be your permanent choice. You'll still open up to other things, but there, rather than expanding and casting a wide net, you have a very, very wide net, and it's beautiful. Your net will continue to expand over time, but you're being encouraged to take one and strengthen it. It will accelerate your spiritual practice by moving forward in this way currently, right? Because this is for your energy now, not all of the time, not in the past, not later down the line, but right now. To accelerate your spiritual practice, pick one and really focus on it. Because when you come out of that later, you will then have expanded your perspective that you can then apply to other places, in the same way that having casted a wider net allows you to have different perspectives on the individual things. Focusing on one individual thing will also, in a different way, give you a higher perspective from a different angle that will give you wisdom and knowledge about that wide net that you might not gain the other way around. It's like if you move one way, you want to also move the other. If you exercise the right part of your body, you also want to exercise the left part of your body. So to accelerate your spiritual practice right now, you're being encouraged to pick one spirit guide. Okay, I'm hearing no wrong answers, or you can see who comes to you, who would like to do it if that's something that you resonate with. You can pick one spirit guide, pick one practice or one path, and really focus on that right now. It will accelerate your spiritual growth, okay? We're going to get into the tarot for you. We'll see what else we've got for you here. I'm hearing pratyahara, okay, withdrawal from the senses, okay? I'm hearing from the 4 agreements. We're reading that in my book club currently. We just had our first meeting. With that energy, don't take things personally, meaning if something positive happens, don't hold on to it, don't take it personally. If something negative happens, don't hold on to it, don't take it personally. It will allow you to focus on the path, right? Say that you are choosing yoga, right? You want to show up, or Pilates, but let's use something that's body, okay? Say that you're picking a path through your body here. And as you do this, you might find that you have maybe tight hips. And if you have tight hips, you might take it personally, and you might say, well, I can't do that one posture. Maybe yoga's not for me, or I can't do that one posture, and get maybe upset or frustrated about it, right? And also, you continue to practice. You keep doing that, and then you loosen up your hips, you strengthen your hips, and you're able to eventually get in that posture. And when you get in that posture, it is not a job. Well, I mean, you've done a wonderful job, of course, but it's not the entire world is now fixed. All your problems are now fixed, right? You just put in the work, and then you saw the results. And that doesn't close out your practice. You didn't get into that pose, and now you said, oh, now I'm done with that now I'm done with yoga, right? That's not how it works. So with that, you would be encouraged at that point in time to then continue with that and deepen your practice, deepen your meditation, deepen your connection with that one spirit guide, and see where that takes you. Okay, I'm noticing that you are hitting a wall here lovingly. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're stuck or you're blocked or you're stagnant, but it might mean that you have reached a, let's say, your expansive level of consciousness. Okay, there is a space here where you can continually get to. It's wonderful, beautiful, delicious, but you're not seeing beyond it, right? Maybe you're connecting with the astral and you want to push into the causal. Maybe you're in the causal, you want to push into the divine. Maybe you're hanging out with source, and source is infinitely expanding, and you keep having the same experience and you want a new one, right? Wherever it is that you are noticing that the tippy top of your consciousness, if you will, is at a place where you are desiring more depth, or you're becoming stronger in that tippy top energy, but also there is beyond it to go, and you're aware of that, but you maybe don't know where to look. You don't know where the peephole is. You don't know where that window is if the door is closed, for example. And this is where the answer lies in picking one thing and sticking to it consistently. Some days will be better than others. Some days you will see results, and other days you will not. You will find that one day you can get into that posture, that asana, and the next day you cannot get into it. And the day after that you can, and maybe a couple days after that you can't, and a couple days after that you can, right? It's like this. It's about practice makes progress here, and stick with one thing. Another thing that will accelerate your spiritual practice here is allowing yourself to, I'm hearing, make a game out of it, make it a little bit more fun for you with that one practice, with that one spirit guide. And with that being the case, do not keep your options open. Like, don't be eyeballing other practices. Like, oh, maybe I should do that one instead and stick to that one. It matters less which one it is that you pick, and more so that you stick with the one that you picked. Okay, that's what I'm getting to tell you. Because it will create a foundation for you that will help you break that glass ceiling of your own consciousness. And it will also bring you to a place that you've been striving to get to subconsciously, spiritually. You might find that as you stick to this, it makes you a little bit more and more and more different from your surroundings, different from the people around you, the spiritual community, even at large. This is not a bad thing, because that is how you know that you are living in your own authenticity, in your own sovereignty, how you are living in truth. Here, you're being encouraged to remember that you get to pick a path and make it your home. I'm also really being shown the number 4. So maybe the moon or 4th house or Cancerian energies. I'm also getting your Juno placement for some of you. It's very specific. There's something here about the number 4 that is really wanting to shine through. And it's where your higher learning and your expression find a home. You can reach consciousness states that maybe you can't quite describe. And with that, your spirituality and the way that you learn, it's so extensive, it's so expansive that you maybe don't even know where to start. So find a home and allow it to unfold through that vessel. It's like if you have a message to share, but you sing and you write and you paint and you dance, you're trying to share the message across all of them across the board, which you absolutely can do, but focus first on song, if that's the one you choose, and stick with it until you feel that you have expressed that message, until you have fully expressed your soul. Your soul wants to just yawn open in consciousness, big yawn, giant stretch, and it will help you live further in your truth. It doesn't mean that you are rejecting or pushing away other modalities. But what it does do is allow yourself to grow in that way. Again, in the same way that having several different sources of knowledge, in the same way that having several different spiritual practices, in the same way that having several different spirit guides can help you understand the individuality of each one a little bit more. Focusing on one individually over a long period of time can also give you that same experience, but in the negative space of what it is that you've been doing thus far. Therefore, accelerating your spiritual practice exponentially. Group number 1, that is what I have for you. Look at the chariot at the back of the deck. See? I hope this helped shed love, light, and clarity for you. If you'd like to meditate with me, that will be the first link in the description box below. If you'd like a one-on-one with me, I do have personal sessions open for tarot, channeling, astrology, astrocartography, Reiki, and personal light codes as well. Those are on my spiritual shop. You can find it on Etsy. I've got candles, crystals, meditation cushions. I have journals, prompted and unprompted. I highly recommend you check out the guided self-exploration journal. I've got dream journals, intention journals, manifestation journals, etc. I've also published a few books, tarot and oracle decks, including but not limited to the ones used in today's reading. That is all on Etsy at Spiritualistik. My handle everywhere is Spiritualistik, so you can follow me here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, please subscribe. It means the world to me. Lets me know that you support. And you can also find me on TikTok, on Instagram. Don't forget to follow me over there as well, so we can just connect and build a stronger community, because that's what it's all about. I love you, and I'm grateful for you. Have an amazing day, week, month, year, incarnation in this beautiful realm, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, Group 2. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking at how you can accelerate your spiritual practice, and you selected the second group with the Calling in Manifestations card. Group number 2, the first thing that I'm getting here for you immediately, it's to focus on the basics. Now, I'm not even talking about chakra work. I'm talking about making sure you're getting enough sleep, making sure that you are taking care of your body, making sure that you are getting outside and making some contact with maybe the sun and some fresh air, making sure that you are eating on a regular schedule, eating healthy foods on a regular schedule in a healthy amount for your body. Really, self-care 101. It's not, are you doing the red light face mask? It's not, are you doing your retinol? It's not, are you doing 1,000 crunches? It's not, are you meditating for hours and hours and hours? Or how long can you hold a fast? It's nourish your body, get your sleep, go outside, breathe. And this is going to call in your manifestations because 1, you're less focused on them. 2, it grounds you in your root chakra. So it's a little bit more, I'm hearing the song I Am by Beautiful Chorus, I believe, but it's a beautiful affirmation where they say, what I seek, I have. What I want to know, I understand. What I wish to learn, I can. Who I want to be, I am. And it's this vibe about really centering yourself, grounding yourself in the simple things, taking good care of your body, like focusing on those basic things will accelerate your spiritual practice. A lot of you might be out in the ether doing grid work. You might be doing stuff in the astral. Some of you might be trying to do pranayama and hold your breath. A lot of you might be trying to do a lot of really advanced spiritual techniques, manifestation techniques. You've got the vision board. Maybe your schedule is time blocked. You're showing up. You're hitting the gym. You're doing the things. You've got yourself together. Okay. This is why to accelerate your spiritual practice, it's going to look like kind of grounding, not in a sense where you're outside connecting with the tree. I am roots. I have roots. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that. I do that. Okay. But for you, this is scheduled eating appropriate amounts. Maybe it's meal planning. You don't need to meal prep for the next month. You don't need to plan every single meal and weigh all of the grams. It's not giving excessive. It's try to hit an extremely, almost annoyingly attainable goal for your food, for going outside, for your fresh air, for your sleep, maybe for reading. Just pick the basics, keep it very simple, pick very attainable goals, and simply hit those marks. It will build your confidence. It will focus your energy back down into the body. It will ground all of those spiritual energies you have going on into your body with you. It will call in your manifestations. So that's the first thing that I'm getting for you, group number 2, for accelerating your spiritual practice. And there are a lot of you who are like, oh, really? Because you are here wanting to accelerate your spiritual practice because you have a very extensive, intense, very advanced spiritual practice. And so to remind yourself, just a gentle reminder that it's not about how many pages you fill up in your gratitude journal today, but that's never a bad thing to do, obviously. That it is spiritual to, I'm hearing puja. It's spiritual to feed your body. It's spiritual to rest, not just sleep, not just turn off your physical body and go float in the astral and help and learn and expand and download, but to rest. Things like this. Okay. It's bringing the spiritual back to the mundane. This will call in your manifestations. I'm getting, there are a couple things that almost came out but didn't. I'm getting here, you have a very strong will, which is very beautiful energy, and it makes a very, very good spiritual practitioner, very, very good spiritual aspirant as well, because you can, and then you do, and you will. The reason for this being your message I'm kind of getting is because of the strong will that you have, which is good. You know, keep using your will and attain goals. But there's this vibe of success. Say that I tell you, triangular breathing will be how you can accelerate your spiritual practice. 15 minutes a day. You'll say, okay, you will wake up, you will schedule 15 minutes, you will do your triangular breathing, you will do it for the rest of your life, and then you'll say, oh, okay, yes, that helped. And you show up, you achieve, you overachieve, you get it done, you exceed. And so this is looking a little bit like giving yourself love and finding success in transforming your definition of what is spiritual and transforming your definition of what is success. And understanding that there's a reason why you received this message. It's not because you don't treat yourself with love. It's not because you're not taking care of the basics of your body. It's because you're being encouraged to put more energy, put more focus into the basics. Draw your energy, more energy, energize those areas of life. Energize the basics. Don't just pass through them. They're not just formalities. I know I am not this body, I am not this mind, but also do not neglect the body, do not neglect the mind. I'm not getting that you are not showing up for it, but to be present with it, as you know in all of the spiritual realms, as you know with your breath, as you know with your asanas, as you know with your exercise, as you know with the overachieving things that you do. You know how to be present with it. Sometimes the deep work is connecting with your food. Sometimes the deep work is getting a full 8 hours of sleep. Maybe even 10 if you're a rock star. And so it's just an anchoring message here for you. Let's see what else wants to come out as well. There's something else I can give you here that's a little bit more spiritual in nature. I can absolutely feel it. Okay, but that wanted to come through first. Okay. I am loving awareness. Less about affirmations, more about loving awareness. Awareness with love. Understanding that, your consciousness is expanding exponentially. You know this. As you continue to go deeper into your practice, we're looking at the speed here. The speed here will come from grounding, will come from intentionally slowing down. You'll notice that as you slow down, when you focus on one thing at a time, it allows things to actually happen faster because you're completing each and every action. You are allowing yourself to show up and be fully present with each individual thing. So it's done well, it's done more slowly, and actually more gets done than if you are in a tizzy running around. So it is an act of slowing down energetically, slowing down physically. There is also this energy of what it is that you are holding. Okay, there's a success or an idea of success or a goal that you are holding on to. And so to accelerate your spiritual practice, your job is not to hold this goal, this idea, this vision stagnant. It is to transform the vision, transform the goal. Let it take wings and soar and fly and become unfathomable. Let me explain to you why. This is how to accelerate your spiritual practice. If you say that you want to run 5 kilometers and you have that goalpost in your mind, even spiritually, you want to attain 5 kilometers. And so you learn to run 1, you learn to run 2, you learn to run 3 with the goal of 5 in mind. Now, in your meditation, during your runs, in your vision boards, in your affirmations, in your journals, you allow that goal to transform from something like, I want to run 5 kilometers to, I want to run for 2 hours straight. Or I want to run further than I've ever run before. Or I want to run and feel peace in my whole body. I want to run and be fully relaxed the whole time. I want to run and fully enjoy the process. Allow your goals, your spiritual goals, to transform, because this moves the goalpost. When you are running with the intention of loving your run and feeling relaxed, you will easily exceed 5 kilometers, and you're not even focusing on it. You won't even notice, because you're not focused on a distance. You're not focused on a quantitative goal. You're focused on feeling good. You're focused on loving yourself. You're focusing on thriving. You're not focusing on how deeply can I go into meditation? How long can I retain my breath? You're not focusing on how long can I sit in meditation or how long can I fast. These are all wonderful practices with heavy and very effective roots. These are all helpful to accelerate your spiritual practice to the point where you are, where now you unfold these things and you allow the other direction to take shape, to take place. You transform your goal of, I would like to practice my pranayama, my triangle breath, perhaps, and I wish to reach a count of 20, a slow count of 20. Now, this is your reminder that you don't get a prize for reaching 20. Now, there's a reason why it's a good practice, and if you can do it longer, you can go deeper in meditation. That's true. But it's more about, what if you release the counts? What if you sit for triangle breath and you find a natural flow and a natural rhythm, but your goal is to be present? Your goal is to maybe just focus on your third eye. Your goal is to connect with Source. Your goal is to feel loving awareness. You might find that you go deeper in your meditation, your spiritual practice accelerates, and that you are retaining your breath longer than 20. Just like it's easier to hold a plank for a minute when you are not staring at a timer counting down from 1 minute. This is about love. It's about moving through love and presence and good feelings and reconnecting with these things as well. Not so much in a sacral heavy way, but in more of an Ace of Cups way. It's giving the purity, the innocence, the basics, not naivety, but that overflowing cup. Not as a reward for your spiritual growth, but as its foundation. And this will accelerate your spiritual practice. So group number 2, that is your message. If you would like to meditate with me, that will be the first link in the description box below. You're more than welcome to check out my spiritual store, which is also where you will find all of my personal sessions, along with journals I've created, prompted and unprompted, books I've written, my tarot and oracle decks I've created, candles, crystals I've wrapped, so on and so forth. That is in the description box. It's on Etsy. My handle is Spiritualistik. It's on Etsy, here on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon. It's all Spiritualistik, so you can find me there as well. I do offer 3 platforms for exclusive content. I post one on Wednesday here on YouTube, one on Thursday on Patreon, and collective messages several times throughout the week on TikTok if you're interested in that as well. Don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment about how your spiritual practice has been looking, because I know it's been amazing and there's so much that we can learn from listening to other group 2s. I know that for a fact. And also how you feel about drawing more centered, loving awareness into your practice as its foundation instead of as a reward. Group number 2, I love you and I'm grateful for you. Again, don't forget to comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and it also helps other people find their messages when they're in the same energy as well. So, have an amazing day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. And I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, Group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking at how you can accelerate your spiritual practice, and you selected the 3rd group with the Stand in Your Power card. Group number 3. To accelerate your spiritual practice, you're being encouraged to really, really lean into some of the gifts that you have that maybe are lesser known in the world, or maybe the ones that perhaps you've even shared with others that you have, and maybe they don't believe them. Maybe they like to speculate, but it's not a matter of opinion. Group 3, to accelerate your spiritual practice, you're being encouraged to stand in your power. You're being encouraged to practice the advanced techniques that you have access to. Practice the more difficult or the more advanced things. Some of you, they've been directly channeled from spirit, from source, from the universe. For some of you, it's something that you discovered you could do, or you created it on your own. For others of you, you were guided to it. But to advance your spiritual practice, you're being encouraged to really lean into the gifts that you have, the techniques that you have that are more advanced, but you're being encouraged to put them together with your regular practice. So not to take the place of your regular meditation or your regular chakra or whatever you normally would do. You're being encouraged to add this advanced practice, to add the exploration of this gift onto it, to put all of these things together, and also stand in your power. Keep that knowing. Now, it's not giving ego, it's giving will. Now, the solar plexus, it is your sense of self. It is also your willpower. These are 2 different things. So it's not about the sense of self definition of the solar plexus. It's about the willpower, where you're directing your will. Okay? So let's take a look at the tarot and see how you can accelerate your spiritual practice. How can group number 3 accelerate their spiritual practice? Okay, that one almost wants to come out, but not quite. Here we go. Yeah, you're being encouraged to continue to make the big decision. Okay, if there's something here that you can do, but it requires a little extra will, a little extra effort, a little extra power. If there's something here that you can do and you know it's a big game changer, but it requires you to maybe be energetic, or perhaps it requires a little extra effort on your end, or a little extra time, or a little extra power, you're being encouraged to step into that, step through that, and try your best to navigate showing up in this way energetically instead of physically. Okay? Try your best to connect with the energy that you have access to in your consciousness and from the universe, as opposed to the way that you feel in your body. Also paying attention to the frequency of the things that you are involving yourself with. Doesn't need to be a flawless practice, but if you are scrolling on social media for hours and hours and hours, that is going to drain your energy, and you're going to come out of it at a lower vibration than you were going into it. That is the way that it works. Now, with that being said, it's not saying you need to fully cut out your communication with your friends or your connection with the media or anything like that. But to accelerate your spiritual practice, you're being encouraged to maybe replace it with a higher vibrational book rather than a screen. Or if you already are reading, try to choose a higher vibrational book. It is the micro choices. It is where you're choosing to direct your energy, where you're choosing to direct your will, that is going to accelerate your spiritual practice here. This and adding more to your practice. You're going to find that making these micro choices will help you to come out of a chapter where you require a lot of energy or a lot of time or something in order to hit that mark, okay? A lot of you, if you are intuitives or you are tarot readers or you are channels in some way, or you are energy workers and you think it's taking a lot of my energy to do that, if you look at the capacity that you have energetically, just say, you can use the spoons example. Say you have 10 spoons throughout the day. Okay, maybe it takes 5 to do your practice, which is a lot. And if you're being encouraged to bump it up to 6, that's a lot too. But instead of spending 3 spoons on social media or binge watching something or having a conversation with someone that's really draining you, you could spend 1 spoon, and that 1 spoon could be a little walk around the block in the sunshine. Another spoon could be reading a book that is really good for your mental and emotional health. And you're using less energy and you are raising the frequency of your experience in micro choices. Now, it's not saying to fully clean it up, right? It's not saying that you are having bad habits. I'm not getting you have bad habits, but I am getting to make sure that it's not residual energy that you are needing to kind of push and force towards your spiritual practice. Instead of this, to accelerate your spiritual journey, you're being encouraged to kind of put that first, devote the energy to that, and you'll find that you come out more clear-headed. As you're expanding your practice, you're deepening your practice. Maybe you're meditating for 5 more minutes. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe you are training a spiritual gift that you've had for a long time, but you haven't practiced it in a while, or maybe it's new to you, or maybe it's a technique that's more advanced. You're being encouraged to prioritize that and see how prioritizing that shifts already your life and your spiritual development. It makes it easier for you to navigate things. It makes it easier for you to just show up and get things done, because it's not about action. It's not about pushing the energy levels that your body has access to. It's not about physical fatigue. It's about spiritual energy. It's about energizing your life in this way. And this will accelerate your spiritual practice because it will make it easier for you to show up on your yoga mat, easier for you to regulate your nervous system and your emotions, easier for you to meditate a little deeper, a little longer, easier for you to have access to those spiritual gifts, and also not to be so attached to them that they end up in the category of sense of self or self-identity, as opposed to willpower. Okay? So to accelerate your spiritual practice here, we do have this vibe of allowing yourself to explore a little bit, maybe different spiritual gifts that you have, different places on the planet or different realms, different frequencies as well. So we have idea of exploring different frequencies. For some of you, this might look like tuning forks, singing bowls, different frequencies, things like this, subliminals for a couple of you. I'm hearing QHHT, so that might be a fun journey for some of you to go down, either in giving that to others, receiving a session, getting certified in that as well. If you're interested in hypnotherapy at all whatsoever, whether it's QHHT or not, I highly recommend it. I find it very interesting, and it's a good It's a good addition to the spiritual journey. I'm personally certified as a hypnotist, and I really enjoy just learning about it, and it's fun, I think. So here, to accelerate your spiritual journey, you're being encouraged to, allow yourself to be more of an observer to your emotions. You're going to find that the more that you deepen your spiritual practice through the will, through that little boost of effort that you give, the more that it kind of creates ease in other areas of your life. Instead of it coming from emotions, ugh, I really don't want to, ugh, but I feel really tired, ugh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, maybe I'll just scroll, because what you're doing is you're seeking for dopamine. When you scroll and you're like, that's not quite giving me that dopamine hit, that one's not quite giving me that dopamine hit, the next one's not quite giving me that dopamine hit, right? And maybe you're like, oh, that one was almost there, and then you scroll, no, oh my God, and then you're scrolling and you're looking and you're seeking. But if you're in that place, if first, it's not saying to never go on social media, it is saying instead, if first you connect internally, if first you use your will and you direct it towards, nope, I'm going to show up for my practice and I'm going to add that extra 5 minutes and I'm going to add that technique, and you sit for that, well, there's your dopamine right there. It accelerates your spiritual practice. It enhances your life. It creates health, wealth, abundance, mind, body, spirit, and then you can scroll through social media and it's a treat, but you're not seeking for dopamine that your brain is craving. You're not vicariously living experiences through other people. Specifically in your spiritual journey, you are living them yourself. You're having those experiences, and then if you'd like, you can use the rest for confirmation or for exploration or for fun, for entertainment. You're giving yourself that experience. You're deepening it. You're allowing yourself to explore a little bit. You're shifting the priority of where you're putting your will. Not necessarily where you're giving your will, but the priority of it, okay? So to accelerate your spiritual practice for you, group number 3, we do see here that you are on the brink of success in your spiritual journey, and we also see that you are maybe it feels like increasingly tired. Okay, so check the transits, check your lunar cycle if that resonates with you. Check the transits, check your cycle, check your meditation practice. Also check your shadow inventory, if you will. Okay, see if there's anything that you're subliminally, subconsciously processing. Okay, we see that you might be slowing down. Also, as this is going through, like as I'm recording this is a timeless reading, but we just hit fall and we're going into winter. So it's normal for things to slow down, get sleepy, days a little shorter, nights a little longer. Okay, so it's normal and natural. So there is a certain amount of normal and natural to this energy where you are being already brought introspectively. But it is really easy to get sucked into a screen or a movie or a series or an album instead of internally, because our brain can't fully tell the difference, but our soul and our spirit and our energy can. So what you're noticing here is that to accelerate your spiritual practice, first, the things we mentioned, also acknowledging that there's a certain amount of normalcy to the slowing down, getting a little sleepier, right? So it might not be that you need more will. It's where you're putting it. It's not how can I muster up even more. It's simply what is the order with which you're doing it. And if the opportunity is given to you, try to reach for a fresh fruit instead of a frozen one, or try to read a book that is higher vibrational over the one that's lower vibrational. Little tiny things like that are available to you, right? It doesn't need to be a back-breaking effort here. Where you are being encouraged to put a little more effort is a little bit deeper or a little more advanced into your spiritual technique. Not that you don't have access to these things or can't reach them, but where the effort is coming through is you're being encouraged to add that to your regular practice. So it's not swapping it out. It's not taking the next level class. You're maintaining the class that you're at, and you're also adding another one. So that is where the extra effort's coming through. The little things, it's just a matter of prioritization, okay? And that's why you're being called to put the spiritual energy first. Because there is, again, a certain amount of normalcy to the sleepiness, the introversion, the slowing down, okay? Especially with this energy. I'm being shown a selenite mushroom that I have on my bookshelf, okay? And it's kind of like looking at me. So that can be significant as well. And for those of you who are interested, it's right in front of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that might be interesting for you as well. So to accelerate your spiritual practice, it's one foot in front of the other, and things are going to flip over quite quickly for you. you're going to find that you get a lot of clarity. Things are kind of moving really well in your life. You want to start new beginnings. The only thing is try not to get too attached to the density of that sleepy energy, or not too attached to the vibe of, oh, I shouldn't be sleepy, I should push through anyway. So finding that middle ground there, it's going to accelerate your spiritual practice, okay? If you need to, say, I need to get 8 hours of sleep, make it non-negotiable. If you're staying up at night, let yourself sleep in if that's something that's available to you, okay? If you need to shift your sleep schedule by a few hours, allow that. Make sure that you're prioritizing rest and sleep and meditation, prayer, things like this, introspection and sleep and rest, okay? The last thing that's coming through is to allow yourself to add intentional effort towards opening up your heart. So if you're doing chakra work, okay, root to crown, crown to root, and then bring it back to the heart to end. That is something that is going to accelerate your spiritual practice at this time in this energy. Not for everyone all the time, but for you in this energy, okay? From there, you're being encouraged to utilize your voice. Write down your channeled messages. Write down, maybe some of you are writers or singers or channelers or something like this. You're being encouraged to write, or journal for some of you as well. And you're going to find that there's a little spark of magic that starts to enter your life a little soon, okay? It's going to be reminiscent of something that you've already experienced. It's going to be really successful for you, and it's going to ground a little more heavily than it normally does. It's a positive thing that's going to ground. But while it grounds, you might find that you're a little sleepy, or you might feel too sleepy to interact with it, or you'd rather just meditate than deal with the nuance of the sparkles and the magic in the other realms, okay? So accelerating your spiritual practice looks like finding the balance here. Honoring that you can be sleepy and there's something new that you want to put time and energy towards. So step number 1, prioritize elongating your spiritual practice in some way. Step number 2, honor the rest that your body needs. Step number 3, make micro choices that are a little higher vibrational when the opportunity is convenient and available to you. And last piece here, bring your practice, end it at the heart center. So if you're doing a yoga flow, okay, try to do the heart last. Resonate with that. Or if you're in Savasana, focus on your heart while you're laying there. Okay, things like this. Write, journal, channel, things like this. Automated writing is coming through for some of you. And finally, when something magical occurs and you find your consciousness is expanding and your body's getting sleepier, okay, trust that all of them can coexist. This will accelerate your spiritual practice. This will gently stretch your bandwidth in a fun way, okay? And that will help accelerate your spiritual practice. But that bandwidth right here is what's cracking open, and it's cracking open from the heart center. The heart, and also a little bit of that channel between the heart and the throat. I'm getting this energy right underneath the collarbones here that's opening up and expanding for you, okay? So this is how you can accelerate your spiritual practice. It's a lot of things. So I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity for you. If you'd like to work one-on-one with me, since this is a general reading, you can find those in the description box below. I have all of my one-on-one sessions, whether it's Reiki, astrology, channeling, tarot, light codes. They're all in my Etsy store, on my spiritual store there at Spiritualistik. I've got journals, if you're interested in that. I've got guided journals, over 200 prompts, and my guided self-exploration journal, my astrology book, my book on the Fool's Journey, dream journals, meditation and intention journals, crystals, intention candles, so on and so forth. Lots of stuff that I like to create, tarot and oracle decks as well. So that is there. If you'd like to meditate with me, it's the first link in the description box below. You can follow me along on Patreon, TikTok, Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, and please subscribe. As always, I love you and I'm grateful for you, and I will see you next time. Namaste.